When you think of Black love, you might think of this.
Dad, what's your name?
Brianna.
Brianna? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Or this.
Listen to me, man. Listen to me. Man, listen to me.
Or this. Let's face it, Black love has a bad rap. And with more and more dating shows coming out and portraying the worst aspects of human nature, it puts our issues on Front Street. A recent study came out that showed Black people are the most likely to get divorced in the USA. According to divorce.com, Black America has the highest divorce rate at about 30.8% compared to other races of Hispanics at around 18% and white America, which is around 15%. Combine this with the fact that fewer Americans and therefore less Black people are getting married and even having kids. Today, only 1 out of 4 Black women are currently married, and over 50% of Black men of marrying age are single and childless. Black women marry latest, marry the least, and when they do marry, are more likely to divorce than any other group of women. It seems like Black love is doomed to fail.
But when I tell you social media is amplifying the divide between Black men and Black women, pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms, put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a date, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward, and what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us. So
Say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right, I've never been cheated on. But let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, niggas say they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even my shit. That's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
What's happening on the flip side? What's going on to those who are marrying? What's going on with those who are staying married? What is their life like? Here are some examples.
And the next thing that I want people to know is I consider her a gift from God. And so I treat her just like that.
Wow. He is my hero. And what I mean by that is God gave him as a gift to me. And I treasure him just that way. Whatever he wants, I try my best to provide it. If it's a meal, not a problem. If he wants just to take a ride, I'm there to do that. If he wants just conversation, I say, let's go. If it's a boring night, I say, let's make a picnic in the bed with a blanket and a picnic sandwich. Bottom line is he's my one, and we keep it live for each other. 52 years, he's the air in my lungs.
So we spend our time just making each other happy. And the most important thing in that context, I mean, a pastor, you got to have God in your life. You got to pray. Because we have some intense moments of fellowship. That's our way of saying, sometimes we don't agree. Okay, and then so with our prayer life and love and respect we have for each other, years ago would be bumps in the road. Now it's just smooth sailing. Because we worked our way through all of that. So each other's best friend.
These people represent a generation of Black couples who are still together, loving each other and doing well. The ones we never really hear about or give a ton of attention to. The ones who share their journey, but few respond. What are they doing? How are they succeeding and why? Was it just luck? Or do they have winning strategies that they could actually pass on? Yeah, we all know about the Black couples that hate each other, but we rarely hear from the ones who are doing well. Or why is it we never give them that much attention? Sometimes I think failure repeats itself in our community because we never take time to sit and learn from those who are actually winning. The biggest losses get promoted and the losers get the microphone. We can all point out the issues, identify what's wrong, and describe how bad it is. That's not difficult to do. But who can identify a winning strategy? Who can teach us how to thrive, excel, and overcome? I want to listen to those people. How about giving attention to those who are winning and learning from their victories? But many of us have a learning curve. We grew up in broken homes, saw horrible examples of relationship, left with trauma, and have zero idea about how to get along with ourselves, let alone someone else. Some of us are mentally unwell, spiritually abused, and confused, making it nearly impossible to build something stable at home. I don't think Black men or Black women are inherently doomed to fail at relationships. If that was the case, we wouldn't see Black people across the diaspora, particularly in Africa, growing in the midst of their own challenges and warfare with colonization. We have what we need to do better if we want, but some of us have to be willing to learn, to even humble ourselves and become students of those who are doing it right. This is one reason I was drawn to my current church and like to listen to those I respect. I understand some of you don't trust pastors because many of them have screwed up and sold out, but just because there are sellouts and frauds does not change the important role spiritual leaders play in healing a broken community, especially when those leaders are actually ordained and called by God. My prayer for anyone listening to this video is that you would know that no matter how bad it looks in the media and what is being shown or shoved down your throat, Black love is still thriving in the world. You just may not be seeing it. Love is still available to anyone, especially if you're willing to do the work and make yourselves available to it. Even if you come from a family with little to no examples, you can learn and grow, learn habits you didn't know about, and change the trajectory of your family. Yeah, you'll have some work to do, and you might have more things to overcome, but it is possible with God's help. That's actually what the real gospel is about, by the way. Transformation, a transformed heart, soul that leads to a transformed life on this earth and in the afterlife. Many people think the gospel is about some hippie white dude that's been used to oppress Black and brown people. That's the Antichrist. The real gospel is a message of hope and transformation to anyone who is willing to acknowledge their need for Christ and learn about a better way to live, taking on useful teachings and relying upon God's strength to make us new. Even people who don't believe in the Bible can acknowledge that if we all lived by the golden rule, love your neighbor as yourself and do unto others as you want them to do unto you, life would go a lot smoother. The power of God can literally restore a person who has been set up for failure. This especially applies to the Black community. I have seen this with my own eyes, and this is to remind you of that. But the choice is yours, and you get to decide what you want or who you are going to listen to. But as for me, I don't believe Black love is dead. It's thriving where I'm at. But what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.